Okay, so I just like drinking coffee and, getting ready for the day and playing a little bit with some of my stuff from yesterday. Okay, I'm gonna turn you around. And here we go. It's a mess over there, so don't pay any attention to that. I'll raise my legs and then you just see that I'm a working man. Okay, this is, I better put my glasses back on. A piece of, was a piece of copper um, mesh that I got from Amazon. Of course, I mean, get everything from Amazon these days. And and I like it too. I mean, I am not opposed to Amazon. I like Amazon. I think they do a bang up job, man. When you got something good to sell and you do it better than anybody else, you make money. That's the whole idea. Makes the world go round and round. At this point in time, anyway, and so what we have here is not copper wire anymore, as you can see. Uh, hello. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember there was this goofy show for kids. The Ninja Turtle once, and there was this guy who lived in a jar and told them what to do. And here he is. Ninjas! Get up there and jump! Fuck me, man. Look at this thing. Uh, I whoa. I have been smoking way too much or something because this is totally psychedelic, man. I mean, it is and unexpected. I have to tell you, it's unexpected. For sure. I mean, nobody did anything like this before, I don't think. And so the interesting thing is here that it is indeed a room temperature superconductor. Okay, and so not only is it really trippy this way, we're watching. See, the photoelectric effect says that when light hits this, the atoms in this AUPT that we have here go up a notch or two, depending on how much light there is, and they respond better to laser light, right? So the LED in our phone camera gives perfect white light, just exactly like morning sunlight. Want to see that? That's morning sunlight over there on my wall. And I actually I checked. I checked a long time ago when I got my first phone, my first smartphone. I don't know, 8 years ago, 2013. So yeah, 2013. And I met the Google Babe then, I've been going steady with the Google Babe ever since. She and me, we like each other. So, and she likes you guys too, She's one of those chicks that likes everybody, man. That's why I like her. And she sends me stuff like this. The screen, right? I got the screen from Amazon. Couple of dollars. It's now mostly a UPT, but and I heated it up with my cigarette lighter, right? My not this one, the other one. This guy is a serious business. Another Amazon purchase. This one too, and I love this one, man. Look at this one. 3 flames, man. Except this gets really hot. Ye old $2 pistol. So, son of a Gunsky, something new under the sun. Because we have opal here. It's a form of opal. It's a form of diffraction anyway, except, see, in spectroscopy, they deal with colors of light that reflect or are transmitted from stars, for instance. So the wavelengths of light tell us what's over here. But what we do is we feed it through a diffraction grating. So we have a bunch of these arranged, these little thin screens arranged so the gaps between the screen parts are half the size of a wavelength of visible light. And there's another thing that we do, like with diamonds, and you guys have seen some of mine, man. They put a titanium coating on one side, right? So the bottom of the stone will have this titanium coating, and the top is clear, and it goes in, it starts bouncing in there, but it bounces on a little thin layer of titanium. At the bottom, it goes boop, boop, and it's half the size of a wavelength of visible light. And as you move it around, the incident light's coming in like this, and we if we know the angle, then half the size of a wavelength of light can vary between blue, which is really, really small, and red, and as you notice, they're kind of right next door to each other here. So in a precious opal, it's got rows and columns of little spherical things that all line up in perfect little rows and columns. And we call it face-centered cubic. And that's because you can look at it this way, where they go rows and columns straight and back and forth and everything. Or you can look at it this way and make it rows and columns like that. And if you notice, they're see, the thing with atoms and other things that are the same stuff, right? Like carbon or a metal, like gold or platinum. And these do not combine gold and platinum into a single metal. They remain gold, platinum, gold, platinum, gold, platinum, because they're not the same kind of metal. Um, so they arrange themselves like this in 3 dimensions. Okay? And when these little thingamies in here, these little stitches, what it looks like here, when those are half the size of a wavelength of visible light, in 3 dimensions, not in one, not in one. The titanium bouncing thing happens at the bottom of diamonds, right? It doesn't work with anything else, man. You could do it to glass and it would just look like a little mirror down there, like rhinestones, right? That's what rhinestones are, kind of. It only works with diamonds. So, and this precious opal is another one of those things, right? That does this, and it does that because of the way that the little spherical things line up inside of it. And we've been saying that it was spheres of silicon dioxide, and you know, I've been looking for silicon dioxide and I haven't found any. It's all silicon carbide. Okay? It binds up with carbon way deep in the earth, way before it ever gets up close to the surface. So it's all bound up before it gets here. There's not a lot of it to go around. There's not, I mean, and it's not just sort of tied up. It's these atoms line up exactly the same way. Okay? And see how there's little spaces between the points of light? That's how atoms are. They can't get any closer. They can't, because they're the same charge. If they're the same kind of atoms, and you know what? They all are, man, because they all started out as a hydrogen atom. All the little parts and pieces of every single atom in the entire universe started out as a hydrogen atom. And they get squeezed together in stars. And they turn into all the other things by getting squeezed together. It's the squeezed together part that makes them do what they do. And what they do is predictable. As predictable as the rows and columns here. Right? Because that's what numbers are too. They happen in patterns. And we see them in geometry. We see them in fractals. Fractals are self-similar shapes at all scales. So that's a trip, huh? Because it's not AUPT, it's AUPD. And there's pretty significant portion of gold in there. There's a pretty good. But it's the palladium. that makes it do this. This came from the dust from the stuff from Georgia. Whoa, man. I think that is totally outrageous. Because what we did was we turned the wire into atoms that have unit cells, and see how they kind of make like larger squares in there? Well, that's what unit cells are. They have more than one atom. And the cubic unit cell has an interesting numerical arrangement. If you look this way, and I'm going to blow it up. If you look this way at one, you will see that it's surrounded by 6 others. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's 3 spaces on either side between them. And when you fill those spaces with another atom, it forms basically a cube or an octahedron. And sure enough, that's the unit cell of a carbon crystal or a platinum crystal or a gold crystal or any of those that form way deep in the earth, because they're squeezed together as tightly as they can go. But there's just 2 directions. From that you get 6 and 8 and multiples thereof. So it's called cubic hexagonal symmetry. And it has both. It has both. And that perfect symmetry in this particular case happens to be atoms with unit cells that are half the size of a wavelength of visible light. The wire itself is making those rainbows because of the structure of the wire. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now I'm going to turn off my light. Still got colors, which is kind of cool, huh? And we're going to look at the wall over there. So it passes magnetism with no resistance, and light is magnetism. Far fucking out, man.